One more. Hi everyone. I think I'm recording. I'm not sure. Well, it says I am. And hello, thanks for joining. And my name is Kel, or you can call me Kelly. Either one is fine. And I decided that since I am going back to school, I'm getting my doctorate. I'm getting my doctorate in metropolitan education. And so I figured, like, why not scope about what I'm studying and what I hope to do with all of that. I kind of like, oh, hi, John. I kind of don't really talk to other people outside of education about what I do or what I hope to, I guess, accomplish with my degree. And so, I mean, what's the point of having the degree if you're not going to utilize it? So I figure every Sunday, maybe Sunday nights around this time, then if I just kind of pick a topic or you guys pick a topic with me, and then we can kind of go from there. But I kind of want it to be related to minority issues in education. And so what I wanted to talk about tonight was the Black feminization of care, and something that I was learning about last semester. I took a feminism in global studies course, or gender and globalization course, and so we did a lot of work about like feminism and how that plays out around the world and what are women's stories globally. But then, as you know, then we had to do like a research project afterwards. And so when I was doing my research, I wanted mine to relate to what I'm actually going to school for, which is education. And so I started looking at care work, and then from there how Black women display care, and then connecting that to education. And I think a lot of times, well, first with care, a lot of times care is looked at like a trait that's only feminine. So when we're talking about caring for somebody else, like making sure someone's needs are met, or treating people the way you want to be treated and all that kind of stuff, when we're talking about care, a lot of times care is attributed to women because women are supposed to be like these natural nurturers, which a lot of the literature just in research shows that care is something that can be taught. It's not necessarily something that is ingrained in you or natural. And so from there, like a lot of the work that women tend to do, whether it's being a teacher or a nurse or any other stereotypical women's role or job for a woman, is usually seen as easy because nurturing is supposed to be considered easy or natural to women. And so since the work is seen as easy, then in turn women are generally paid less for the work that they do. But anyway, as I was doing the research and everything, then it was saying that like caring should be something that is instead of saying that it's for women only, saying that caring should be something that is like a moral obligation to do. Like whether you're male or female, you should naturally want to help other people and see other people at their best, or see people with like doing well. But then going even further with that, there's the Black feminization of care, and a lot of times Black women, the way that we display care is not the same as other races, and sometimes the way that we show care gets misconstrued as something else, and it's seen as like harsh or forceful or whatever, but it's still our way of showing care. So a lot of times, like for instance, Black women might not coddle individuals as much as particularly Caucasians or other races, they're not going to coddle. They'll just be straight to the point, more so empowering. And again, this can be taken the wrong way sometimes. And I think too, when we're talking about the Black feminization of care, I think sometimes that Black women are often, because their care is shown differently, then a lot of times Black women are seen like they don't have any problems, or like they're just really, really harsh and really, really firm. But that's not the case. Like there's love that's motivated behind that. And so then connecting that to teaching, like in the classroom, especially if you're working with other Black students, well, if you're a Black teacher working with Black students, but if you're not a Black teacher working with Black students, then the way that you would display care is going to look different. And so you have to think about that. So for instance, you can't say that it's for everybody or whatever like that, but at the same time, like, you have to be I think people are not mindful enough of the races that they teach in their classroom. And you can't go into a classroom and try and teach everybody the same way, or teach everybody the way that you learn best, because it's not fair to everybody. Everyone's not going to receive it. So anyway, in terms of how Black women display care in the classroom, a lot of times might give more commands, might, again, be a little bit more demanding, or just no question asking, just giving straight, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I think, again, a lot of times it might come off the wrong way if you don't know the intent behind it. But at the same time, I think that people need to recognize not only do the way students learn looks different, but then the way that individuals show care looks different. And I think that the main thing to learn from it, and the main thing to understand from that, is to say that it's okay. I think sometimes that because there are differences in the end, like what I'm learning now about education and how education has become so standardized, like you can't have a blanket approach to education or a blanket approach to learning, because we have so many different types of people. And I think that people, if they were more cognizant of, learners and their own learning styles and people's races, and being willing to acknowledge racial backgrounds, then I think we would be able to reach more types of students and reach different populations that way. So that was pretty much all that I had about that. I know that too, also in terms of like Black feminization of care, I've also done a lot of studying about warm demanders. So it's kind of the same way that there's like warm teachers who are warm demanders. Again, they have extremely high expectations for their students. Warm demanders are generally African American teachers, but at the same time, there's love that's driven behind the high expectations and behind the commands that are given. And again, over time, students realize that, this teacher was such and such, and had these expectations of me, and it was hard and everything, but I know that they pushed me for a reason, and, and that there's love behind it. And so when I think about warm demanders or Black feminization of care, I always think about the different teachers that I had growing up who were African American, and I know that all of them that I had always pushed us and made us achieve things that we never thought we could achieve, because of how they demonstrated their own care in their own way to us, and we accepted them because of that. So that's all I have. I don't think anyone has any questions or anything. And if you're a replay viewer, then thanks for watching, and I guess desubscribe to this or follow it. I don't know how Periscope really works, but I'll try and come back next Sunday about something else that I'm I guess learning about in my program, and perhaps in the future, if there's a topic that you want discussed, then be sure to comment about it in the comment section. So thanks for tuning in to my first scope about teaching, and I hopefully will see you next week. All right, take care.